Hey everybody, it's WillBits, and we're playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice, Case 2, Trial 2, in the magical turnabout. It's been a crazy one so far. I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine!
Is Apollo okay? He's been muttering to himself all morning. He's been like that since yesterday. Guess the pressure of today's trial's getting to him. Poor Polly. He's really tearing himself up over all this. Get it together, Apollo!
Yikes! Athena! When did you get here?
We carpooled together. What are you talking about? Try to relax a little bit, will you? You're getting yourself way too worked up.
Yeah, but I'm alright. I'm fine.
You know, I did a little digging on this Nahyuta Sahdmahdi guy. He's apparently not your run-of-the-mill prosecutor.
Oh, yeah? What did you find out?
Well, they say he wields an incredible power to accurately read a trial's karma and its ultimate fate.
What does that mean? You finally caught me, Struck Casaby. Well, welcome. It's good. I'm going to be playing for a while tonight, because I think this is going to be a long one. What is that supposed to mean?
I don't have all the details, but apparently he can foresee how the arguments will go, and even lead his opposition.
So he's a mind reader?
So the defense basically ends up going in whatever direction he has in his head.
Black Will supposedly had this power. Man, this isn't going to be a cakewalk if that's true.
Emma did say she'd talk to him for us, though. Here's hoping that went well.
In any case, it sounds like he's gonna keep us on our toes. Okay, we got a crazy magic prosecutor. That's why I know you're ready. Why I know I can leave Trucy in the office to you. I believe in you, Apollo. Mr. Wright's putting his faith in me. I can't let him down now. I'm fine.
There he goes again. It's almost like he's chanting a prayer.
I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine.
If you say so, Apollo.
The trial will start momentarily. Is the defense ready? Yes! We're fine! Trucy's fate and the fate of the agency rest on this trial. This is it, Justice. If ever there was a time to shine, it's now. Okay. April 28th, 9:30 a.m. Started a little early this morning. Hopefully we get some time to chat with the judge a little bit before we get things rolling too much. A completely different judge who didn't just run in from Khura'in. Court's now in session.
Court is now in session for the trial of Trucy Wright, who I've never heard of before.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
And the prosecution? Prosecution Sahdmahdi?
The judge looks different. Doesn't he look a little different here? Somehow? Look at his model. It's a little, I don't know, he's looking good.
1,000 pardons. It was rude of me to keep you waiting. I was praying for the victim.
Oh, praying. Yes, I see. You're a Khura'inist monk, correct?
Yes, that is correct. I am but a lowly monk from the kingdom of Khura'in. I beg in advance for the forgiveness and kind patience of everyone here in this court. I am unfamiliar with the proceedings of this country and may make many blunders.
Too soft, you think? I don't know, that's kind of how he talked in the trailer.
Huh?
He seems like such a gentle-mannered soul, doesn't he? I wonder if Ema had a chance to talk with him about Trucy.
Now then, Prosecutor Sahdmahdi, your opening statement if you would.
Certainly, in the name of the Holy Mother, I vow to guide the victim's soul to a land of eternal peace known as the Twilight Realm. Now, let the last rites of the victim begin.
Nahyuta Sahdmahdi. He's really been making a name for himself, apparently, but... that nickname, Last Rites Prosecutor. I wonder how that will come into play today. Whoop!
The incident took place in the middle of a spectacular magic show. The accused performed a magic trick in which she thrust a sword into a coffin, a symbol of death. This blasphemy knows no end. A coffin from which the body of the victim then spilled out, dead from a fatal stabbing. The victim's name was Manav Mystery, otherwise known as the Great Mysterious. His blood was found on the sword that was used during the magic trick.
Okay, autopsy report added to the court record. As if we didn't have enough stuff on the court record already. How much stuff do we have already? We've already got 3 pages full of stuff, and I bet we're not done.
So his death was just an unfortunate accident?
It is only natural for one to assume as such, Your Honor. However, it was no mere accident, but rather a homicide. The prosecution's position is thus, that this was a murder made to look like an accident.
I see, and you believe this crime was committed by the defendant?
After a thorough consideration of all possible scenarios, I unfortunately had no other choice but to conclude as much.
So that's how it's gonna be, huh? I guess Ema couldn't convince him after all.
Very well. And now let us hear from the defense.
Naturally, we maintain that the defendant is innocent, Your Honor.
If the defense wouldn't mind, could you please explain your reasoning?
My reasoning? Well, I would have to say that my main reason is because I believe in the defendant.
I see. So you find it difficult to come up with anything more concrete than that, do you? What a fine demonstration of the fact that you are indeed a lawyer of putrid mind.
Putrid mind?
Prosecutor Sahdmahdi.
Excuse me, but I don't... That probably meant objection. Is he gonna ult? Is he about to hit me with a big bow and arrow?
If you don't mind my asking, Prosecutor, what was that you were just chanting?
Walkie-talkie kabaki!
A sutra of the Holy Mother that guides those of tainted soul toward enlightenment. It is a Khura'inist incantation to awaken the foolish from their fruitless slumber. Fitting for a lawyer who indulges in such fancy as the innocence of the accused.
I see. So basically you're asking the defense to get real.
Allow me these few words, defense. It is my duty as a monk to punish sinners and to guide victim souls to the Twilight Realm. Should you show repentance and admit to the accused's guilt now, no harm will come to you. But should you interfere with my sacred last rites for the victim, I will swat you like a fly. Then I shall cast you down into the pit of hell, along with Trucy Wright.
Now, wait just 1 minute here. Putrid? Pit of hell? Is that any way to address someone in a court of law?
Prosecutor Sahdmahdi, that may be the way you conduct trials in Khura'in, but I would appreciate it if you would refrain from such charged language here.
Your Honor, That was but a Khura'inist sermon for those who have strayed from the path. Harsh words are often necessary to admonish contemptible deviants who cannot see reason.
I see. I didn't realize that.
I guess they really do hate defense attorneys in Khura'in, huh?
Even still, that was way over the top as far as verbal abuse goes. And the trial has only just begun.
Well, defense, I suppose, the way of a prosecutor does things varies by country. Why don't we look at this as cross-cultural exchange and try to be open-minded about it?
I would rather not. What?
Bailiff, please bring in the first witness.
I mean, there were a lot of witnesses, kind of. Oh, the Snackoos are back! Why are the Snackoos back? Emma, no! Put them down! Put them down, Emma! Uh-oh. I thought she said goodbye to the Snackoos. What's wrong, Emma? It was really cute. She's eating those very daintily.
Detective Skye, the courtroom is no place for gorging yourself unless you have enough to share. We've been over this, and I haven't had breakfast.
What's wrong with having a little snack? Girls gotta eat, right?
She seems a little stressed out.
Detective Skye, your testimony, please.
Yeah, about that. I just want to state for the record that, I believe Juicy Wright is innocent.
I'm sorry.
Detective Skye, this path you seek to follow is misguided. Giving the wrongdoer false hope will only deepen her despair in the end.
But
Let it go. Let it go. Don't hold it on anymore. Acts which go against your duty will earn you divine punishment from the Holy Mother.
Wait, do I care about that?
Stress eating! Chew, chew, chew.
Fine. I don't know about the divine part, but I get the punishment bit loud and clear.
I guess Emma got assigned tons of paperwork or something for sticking up for Trucy. She and Prosecutor Sahdmahdi don't seem to get along very well, do they?
Shall we continue? The prosecution contends that the accused had a clear motive. The evidence, if you would, Detective Skye.
All right. Please take a look at this poster.
Cancelled! Ooh!
It's a Troop Grammary poster from 13 years ago.
Huh? Is it just me, or is it a little different from the one in Miss Wright's dressing room?
This is a revised version of that poster. This one says cancelled under Mr. Rios. That's right, Mr. Rios left the troop after the first version of the poster was printed. Take a look at Mr. Rios' right forearm near his elbow. See the big scar there? He apparently got that when he made a mistake while practicing a magic trick.
Ouch. That's quite a scar.
Because of the accident, Magnify Grammary concluded Mr. Rios was too unskilled. Just before the show was to open, Magnify announced Mr. Rios wouldn't be appearing. But in defiance of Magnify's decision, Mr. Rios tried to go on stage anyway. This, in turn, caused Magnify to oust Mr. Rios from the troupe on the spot.
He kicked Mr. Rios out? That seems rather extreme. Did he really have to go that far?
When it came to magic, Troop Grammary was so passionate. Or should I say, extreme about it, that it caused problems for them from time to time.
Yes. They even caused this court a mountain of trouble with their extreme antics.
And now, the troop's successor has committed a murder. It seems the troop's rare talent was inherited by the right person, after all. A putrid talent for criminality.
What? No,
We kind of like the Grammarys. They're pretty good at magic. You sound rather extreme yourself, Prosecutor.
Criminals with impure souls do not deserve sympathy, Your Honor.
As I was saying, after his expulsion, Mr. Rios apparently went on to hold a grudge against the troop.
He would tell those close to him, "I will get my revenge on Troop Grammary someday."
Revenge, That certainly sounds antagonistic.
13-year-old poster updated in the court record with the canceled stamp on it. Okay, alright.
And then his chance for revenge finally came. If you would be so kind, Detective Skye.
I guess I don't have a choice, do I?
The defendant's motive.
The victim planned to get his revenge on Troop Grammary during Trucy's magic show. Mr. Rios was going to first steal the Grammary notebook from the defendant. He then intended to reveal the secrets behind their magic tricks during the show. That was the victim's plan for revenge, and while he did, in fact, steal the notebook, the defendant murdered him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets.
By the time the accused had discovered the notebook's theft, it was too late. Her only option was to kill Mr. Rios and make it look like an accident.
Objection!
That's nothing but conjecture!
Objection!
The victim's assistant, Bonnie DeFame, gave the police a statement. She testified that just before the start of the show, Mr. Rios said, "I'm going to reveal all of Troop Grammary's secrets on stage today."
What? Well, that isn't exactly a great starting point for a rebuttal, is it? You're telling me...
Allow me to give you one piece of advice, defense.
Oh? And what's that?
Let it go and move on. Smell the butterfly. Butterflies, my favorite fragrance.
Excuse me?
Helping a sinner will only sully your own soul. One possessed of an unclean soul will burn in the flames of hell, and then be ever burdened with that sin in their next life.
But I don't believe in that sort of thing. I'm of a different religion. Besides, I have no intention of giving up.
Oh, Holy Mother, grant me the strength to deal with this putrid lawyer. All actions have consequences, and yours will surely earn you the honor of being a mere stink bug at best in your next life.
Wait, so they believe in reincarnation? Okay. A stink bug? I'm a good-smelling bug, thank you. I'm at least butterfly-worthy.
Now then, Mr. Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please.
Bzzz, I like that little electricity down there. Man, it's not quite as good as the stuff they were doing in the last trial. And we just have little attorney's badges now. They look kind of like Danishes here. Little like, boop, attorney badge. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, all right.
The victim planned to get his revenge on Troop Grammary during Trucy's magic show.
Hold it!
During. But that show wasn't really being broadcast yet, was it? Revenge Draw this time. It's been 13 years already. Why now?
I know, right? I thought that was pretty sketchy myself. I mean, wouldn't he have done it a long time ago if he was going to do it? After all...
Detective Skye, self-indulgent outbursts such as those will earn you divine punishment in the form of a salary evaluation.
Wait, that's what divine punishment means? You're just gonna give her less money?
Let the detective have her snack. This humble servant of the Holy Mother shall explain. Over a decade ago, Troop Grammary was at the height of their popularity. But then their reputation declined, and they had all but faded from public memory. Until recently, that is, when Trucy Wright sought to recapture their former glory.
The defendant, and at such a young age, too. How impressive.
Yes, the accused's skill at magic is undeniably impressive. If she hadn't fallen onto the path of sin, she would have had a bright future ahead of her.
It's always sad to see such promising young potential go to waste. Now then, Detective Skye, how did Mr. Rios plan to get his revenge? And please, put down the Snackoos before you continue with your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Rios was going to first steal the Gramarye notebook from the defendant.
Hold it!
Yeah? What evidence do you have that Mr. Rios actually stole the notebook?
Well, you see,
Whenever you're ready, Detective.
Fret not, Detective Skye. You have nothing to repent for. You should be proud of the fine forensic discovery that you made.
Forensic discovery? And what did she discover specifically?
Detective Skye identified a certain set of fingerprints on the notebook. Upon further inspection, she determined they belonged to Mr. Rios.
What?
The detective found the fingerprints entirely of her own volition. For that, I must say, well done, Detective Skye.
Gotta get a little too addicted to using your precious white powder, did you, Emma?
Now, Detective Skye, I would ask you to explain exactly how Mr. Rios intended to use the notebook to exact his revenge.
all right. Well, first he stole the notebook. He then intended to reveal the secrets behind their magic trick during the show.
Hold it!
I'm gonna reveal all of Troop Gramarye's secrets on stage today. That's what Mr. Rios himself said, right?
Right, but he didn't exactly specify which Gramarye secrets he was talking about.
But the prosecution thinks he was referring to secrets behind Troop Gramarye's magic?
Yes, that is the prosecution's assertion. When the accused realized that Mr. Rios was to reveal her family's most closely guarded secrets, she naturally panicked.
So, basically, Trucy's notebook was hiding in Mr. Rios' things because he had stolen it himself?
I see. Truly a motive that only a magician could have.
Yeah, that's what the prosecution believes anyway. That was the victim's plan for revenge, and while he did in fact steal the notebook...
Hold it!
Do you really believe what you're saying, Detective Skye? Do you really think Miss Wright killed Mr. Rios to stop him from getting his revenge?
Of course I don't think that. The Trucy we know would never...
Keep your private considerations separate from your public duty. I warned you about this very thing before the trial began, did I not, Detective Skye?
Yes, you did.
Please, recite my exact words to you.
Ema Skye, you are a detective first and foremost, not the accused's friend. Remember your duty and fulfill it faithfully, you said, kinda like a ghost.
Excellent. So you do remember what I said to you. Your devotion to your work will be rewarded, for the Holy Mother sees all.
This Holy Mother is no scientific concept I've ever heard of. You can't prove the Holy Mother ever had a hole in her.
Those two really don't get along, do they? Well, science and religion go together about as well as oil and water. Which means you have to shake them up a little bit first, and then it's okay for a little while.
As I was saying, the defendant murdered him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, but what exactly is the basis for claiming it was murder?
Beats me.
What? The basis is beats me?
You'll have to ask Prosecutor Sahdmahdi over there because he hasn't told me his reasoning either.
Detective Skye, your feeding of information to the defense has not gone unnoticed by my eyes. The bad karma of acts which go against your duty will impinge upon you in your next life. But even before that, it may impinge upon your job in the form of a transfer.
Please, don't get me kicked out of the forensic unit. Anything but that.
Poor Emma. She's really been risking everything for us. Well, Prosecutor Sahdmahdi, what are your grounds for claiming homicide?
It was the luminous tape in the understage passage. I realized that it had been moved so that Mr. Rios would climb up into the downstage coffin by mistake.
What?
Mr. Rios, who was waiting in the understage passage, was supposed to have used the upstage ladder shown here on the left. He was to climb up into the coffin that had been set up in the backstage area after being turned into a stuffed dragon during Act 1. Mr. Rios was supposed to come back to life and emerge from that coffin. But the luminous tape had been moved to mark the downstage ladder. So the victim climbed up into the coffin on the stage itself by mistake. The very same coffin the accused thrust her sword into.
And you have proof that it was my client who moved the tape?
But of course, Detective Skye.
Oh! That's right. I identified the defendant's fingerprints on the luminous tape,
But she was wearing gloves! Why would she have fingerprints on that tape? At least during the show. What? He actually had proof?
Well, defense, are you finally ready to let it all go and move on?
Absolutely not!
Detective, please add the information about the prints on the tape to your testimony.
Okay.
The defendant's prints were on the tape. I guess she must have moved it during the show.
Hold it!
What made you think to check the luminous tape for prints?
Well, I bet it was detective intuition. I dusted not just the tape, but just about everywhere for fingerprints.
Oh?
I dusted pretty much every single surface in the theater. I mean, it was so nice to be able to dust for prints without anybody getting mad at me.
It's great that you're enthusiastic, Emma, but there is such a thing as too enthusiastic.
The tape was moved to guide Mr. Rios into the coffin that was just downstage. If that's true, it does sound like a murder rather than an accident.
It certainly doesn't help that Trucy's prints are on the tape. I wish I knew what sound would even be appropriate to make in this situation. Okay, so we're gonna have to present something. Oh shoot, I flipped in a circle. It's definitely this last piece of testimony. Let's see what we can present over here that would actually show something there. Let's see. The stage, the notebook, the poster, the crime photo, fingerprinting results. In addition to prints from the victim and Bonnie, a set of unknown prints were found on the top. That's interesting, but not yet. Details. Trucy wore gloves during the show, so none of her fingerprints were found. Okay, so if her fingerprints got on there, it couldn't have been during the show. That makes sense, because we did get fingerprints all over the coffin, but none from Trucy, specifically. I'm sorry, Detective Skye, but there's a flaw in your testimony.
Oh, really? Thank goodness.
The prosecution's claiming that Miss Wright moved the understage tape during the show in order to guide the victim into the coffin downstage. But it doesn't make sense that she would leave prints on the tape at that time.
It doesn't.
Please consider the fingerprinting results of the main coffin, which shows that not one of my client's fingerprints was found on or in it.
That's true. We didn't find any of her prints on that coffin.
I think you've realized what the flaw in your testimony is. Claiming Ms. Wright left prints on the tape during the show is inconsistent with the facts. Because she was wearing gloves during the show.
Oh!
She must have left the print sometime before the show started. In other words, her prints do not prove she moved the tape to mislead the victim. The prosecution's investigation was insufficient.
Oh my! But on a personal level, I'm very happy about that. I'm glad I made a huge mistake.
Well, Prosecutor Sahdmahdi, if the defendant's argument is true, then you have no evidence the defendant moved the tape to deceive the victim.
I see. Apparently the defense is more intelligent than I had thought. More than a stink bug at any rate. Perhaps you are simply a ladybug with spots upon your vest.
Come on, you can bump me up to at least a stag beetle now, can't you? Haha, with his thing, like the stag beetle antennas.
Would that really be any better?
Of course, way better. Stag beetles are cool. With those huge mandibles of theirs, we know about them all the time here in America. The cool stag beetles that wander around here in America.
If the defense wishes to be promoted to a stag beetle, then answer me this question.
All right, shoot.
Even with no evidence that the accused moved the tape to misguide the victim, the victim still climbed the ladder using the tape as a guide. And entered the coffin on the stage. The accused then thrust her sword into said coffin with the victim in it.
So what you're saying is, the fact remains that the victim was stabbed to death, right?
Precisely. However, this does drastically change one aspect of this case. If the accused did not lead the victim into the coffin on purpose, then it means the victim's death could have been accidental. If it was indeed an accident, the defense can argue that it was involuntary manslaughter.
No, it wasn't even that.
I see. If it was involuntary manslaughter, they could plead extenuating circumstances, and the severity of the crime could be mitigated.
Defense, if you believe the accused did not murder the victim, then do you argue that it was an accident?
This is it. The all-important question. The defense argues that Mr. Rios' death was murder, but not by Trucy. The defense maintains that the defendant is entirely innocent. We believe that it was an accident, but murder. And what's more, we believe it was committed by a third party.
A third party? As in, the true culprit is someone else?